Hey, what's up, everyone? What's up? Hey, Pritz, how you doing? What's up, everyone? Everything's good. Everything's good. Yeah, PKV. Yeah, everything's good, man. Just waiting for more people to show up to chat because I had a very interesting weekend. Very interesting weekend. Not a normal weekend that I usually have, but it was very, very interesting. Um, I guess I could start off with Saturday. I mean, what did I even do Saturday, man? I don't even remember, man. Saturday, what did I do? Um I don't even know, to be honest with you. I don't even know what I did. I just know I was busy. Uh like I just had such a busy week. I'm kind of like little burned out because I did a lot of things this weekend. So much that I can't remember Saturday, but I tell you what I did yesterday, and it kind of goes with the title. So pretty much Sunday, yesterday, I went to Orlando. So I took the Bright Line, took the train. It was like took the train to go there and back just for a protest. Okay, now if you've been following me for a long time, I really don't do a lot of protests. Like I usually talk for animals on my social media page, but I never really go to protest that much. Um, because the type of activism I usually do is working with other nonprofits. For example, Vegan Strong is one non for profit that I work for, where we go to a lot of fitness expos and try to show people that you could be healthy and build muscle on a plant based diet, and that's it. It's more from a nutritional standpoint, not from an ethical standpoint. And then we have Animal Heroes, where I've been working with them for about 10 years. I think Vegan Strong, I've been working with them for probably like 7 or 8 years, but with Animal Heroes, I've been working with them for about 10 years. And this one, if y'all don't know, this is I showed y'all yesterday, but this is the, it's like pretty much a kids organization where we go to literally around the world. We go around the world and go to schools to educate children that you could be healthy with plant-based foods, as well to be kind to animals, right? And we do this through stories and graphic novels to really enlighten the kids. So this is one of them where I play a hero right here called Freedom, and pretty much I help like animals, especially flying animals. That's like my superpowers. I can fly, and I help a lot of flying animals, and I could call them to help me save other animals. And then obviously I like to show people that you could drink protein shakes and eat vegan food and things like that. It's pretty cool. But we have a lot of stories like that, as you can see, of how we rescue these animals and stop poachers and farmers and a whole bunch of cool stuff to really show what's going on, but in a more friendlier way. You know what I'm saying? It's obviously it's very toned down to what really happens for kids, so they're more aware. Now, when it comes, yeah, the book is cool. It is cool. It is a cool book, actually. There's three versions of it, and the kids love it. You know, but when it come down to Sunday, I was out there and we were at an activist protest for the Florida black bear. Now, here's the thing. I want to be honest. I was a little nervous going to it because the first protest I've ever been to was when I was on a show called Veganville, when I was in the UK. And that first activist, it was pretty toned down, but it was very serious. Like, we were right in front of an abattoir or a slaughterhouse, and we were stopping these trucks to feed the animals feed the animals water, like pigs, lambs, even some cows. And it was very sad seeing a lot of that, because I've seen the videos and stuff like that, but this is like the first time face to face. Now I'm seeing these animals about to get slaughtered, and it was just like, it was so sad, because you're seeing in their eyes that they're scared. They don't know where they're going. Some of them are, you could tell that they know they're not going anywhere nice. So it was just a sad day. But like, literally going there to give these animals water and videotape and show the world what was going on, because that's the only type of awareness we could do, is just show. It's a lot of show and tell. So it kind of sucks, because our powers are so limited, and you have cops there, and we can't really intervene, and because if you do, you get arrested. And I was in the UK, so I don't want to be messing with the law over there. I don't know what can happen. Like, to be honest. But I played my piece. But at the same time, videos and stuff like that helps with awareness, but I felt almost like my hands were tied. Now, with this event, this is the second activist event I've ever been to, where we were actually holding a protest for the Florida black bear. Now, this is something that I didn't really even know what was happening until Susan Hargreaves, which is one of the organizers that brought this protest together, educated me around the black bears and why it was important for us to be there, share our stories that we do. Because even in one of the books, before this event actually happened, this is what's happening right now. And I'm going to inform you and show you in the book, because this book was written a long time ago, and it's crazy how it's all coincidentally happening, because it happened in the past. Now, this book was created in, where is the creation? In 2021, right? We're in 2025, and look what she drew in the book. Okay, this is about the black bears. I'm just going to show you a picture and then explain everything, what's going on. So what's happening is pretty much this. Okay. Oh, let me fix that. All right, that's what's happening. Like, people are protesting right here, but the Florida Wildlife and Commission wants to make it legal to hunt Florida black bears to hunt them, right? Now, if you don't know about the Florida black bear, and the reason why they shouldn't be hunted is a lot of different reasons, right? Let's talk about the benefits of having the Florida black bear, right? So some of the benefits is that black bears actually help maintain healthy forests by spreading seeds through their scat, or when they poop, after eating fruits, berries. This supports plant biodiversity and regeneration. Next is going to be nutrient cycling. So as they're mostly scavengers, and they help decompose carcasses with recycled nutrients back into the soil and support other wildlife. Black bears also balance the populations. Like, bear help regulate insect populations, small mammals, contributing to a more balanced food web. Also, as well, their cultural and educational value. Black bears are part of the Florida natural heritage. Okay, so they're a popular subject for nature, tourism, photography, wildlife education, and contributing to ecotourism and local economies. And then lastly, they're indicator species. Bears are indicators of environmental health. Their presence suggests a healthy, functional ecosystem with clean water, unfragmented forests, and sufficient prey and plant life. Okay. So having their existence plays a significant role. Now, the problem is that in the past, these animals were hunted. Okay. And when they did the hunt last time, the hunt was around let me see, it was around 2015. All right, was the first time they actually authorized the actual bear hunt. Right, it was the first bear hunt that was like that was approved, because in the past these bears were endangered in Florida. Okay, and it took decades for them to repopulate. All right, so once they were repopulated, they came up, they thought like, oh, we need to, we need to hunt them because we need, population control, things like that. And what ended up happening was that the pace of the hunt was so fast, right? Because because there's rules of how you hunt these bears. Like you can't hunt like certain female pregnant bears, you can't hunt cubs. But it got so out of control. Listen to this. Got so out of control within 24 hours, they had to stop the hunt because they were just killing way too many bears, way too fast, and they weren't even following the rules. It was after like 24 to 48 hours. You know what I'm saying? And the hunt was actually scheduled for 7 days. Now, listen to this. They're trying to do that again, which is sad. So it's 2015 when they did this. It was literally a shit show. And now they're trying to bring it back to fix the population again, which this isn't even a population thing. If you kind of think about South Florida and Florida in general, what's happening is that there's a lot of building that like we need more land. They're trying to build more stuff so more people come down here. And the reason they're sighting these black bears, it's not even real sightings, but it's more like a real estate game. They want the land, and to get the black bears out of the land, out of their habitats, they have to kill them. So there's more land for humans to live, because naturally these Florida black bears, they're not really harmful. Like, I mean, obviously bears are, they're big, right? And they could be harmful if you try attacking them, but they really don't approach humans like that. They're not aggressive. They're very shy. They try to stay away from humans. They try to stay within their own habitat, and that's it. And until this day, there hasn't been any type of deaths except one that supposedly happened today, which is very coincidental after the protests, right? But there hasn't, and that has to kind of panned out. We need to see what really happened, because, sometimes how propaganda works, it can be leverage for their own personal gain, and they could be twisting a story, if that makes sense. But there hasn't been any real incidences, but injuries of pets or people that were trying to save their pets because they left like trash cans open, or, maybe they tried seeking the dog to attack the bear or some shit. But overall, there hasn't really been anything that serious where they had to do this to reduce numbers, if that makes sense. Okay. So when we were out there, we were talking about the benefits of saving these black bears, why we shouldn't hurt them. Because even like when we look at the incidences, like from 2018, it was only like 15 reports. And like I said, this is just from like garbage can, like people not being responsible, living in the area that they live in, pretty much, but it's really rare when this happens. And when I was out there, the speech that I gave was the speech I'm going to give now. And what I saw when I saw all this was happening, I pretty much said, like, look, man, like, why do we need hunters like trophy hunting bears, right? Because I saw like this sign saying "Save our Florida black bears" and had a crosshairs pointing at their head, and I pretty much stated that when I see the crosshair on these flyers of these bears, people use when I was in the military for 8 years. I did 4 years United States Marine Corps, fully active service, also another 4 years United States Navy Reserves, and I deployed to Operation Iraqi Freedom 3 and 4. And when it came to guns, I'm a gun owner. All right. I love guns and I admit to that. Okay. But when I use guns to protect, not to assault. It's only for defense, not offense. Unless I need to go offensive. And for me to go offensive, it would have to be like a wartime environment. You know what I'm saying? But it's mostly used for defending. Okay. And when I was in the military, there are some things that I still carry to this day where it's oaths. And those oaths is one of the oaths is protect anything that is foreign or domestic. And that's one of the oaths that you take when you're a Marine. It says anything foreign and domestic. It doesn't say human being or animal, or it's not specific. It says anything, defend anything that's foreign and domestic. So when I see these Florida black bears, I'm like, they're innocent beings. And why are we having laws or permissions for hunters to go out and hunt these animals for population control, while in 2015 it wasn't regulated right and they went way overboard on this, even though there was no real reason behind it. And when you saw a lot of these people, because I talked to a lot of activists that used to work for these events, like I had interviews with a couple activists that used to be monitors, and a monitor. And listen, this is just the first time I'm learning this stuff, right? But I was just like, I was asking a lot of questions, talking to a lot of activists about this subject. And a monitor, if you don't know, is someone that like pretty much when they're running these hunts, they witness and see if the bears are qualified within the regulations, if all the hunters are following the regulations of the animals they're killing, right? And a lot of monitors, listen to this, from that time frame ended up going vegan, or they went more vegetarian or plant-based because they saw so much death of those bears. And it was, and especially bears that was not part of the regulations. They said they saw so many deaths of bears that was violated of the protection rights of that hunt. They were seeing cubs, they were seeing pregnant mother bears, like all this stuff. They were underweight, all these things. And they said that all the hunters, they could see it in the hunter's eyes that was breaking these rules. And it was multiple ones, not everybody, but it was like a lot of rule breakers that they didn't care. They were giving out, they were saying lies. They couldn't even look into their eyes when they were talking to the monitors. And you know how that works. If someone's not even looking in your eyes when they're speaking to you, and I'm talking about like real life, you know what I mean? Like this is, they're BSing you, because that's how much full of shit they are. And they were telling me these stories, and I was like, wow, this is insane. So with that speech that I was talking about, I said that. And then I said, like, a lot of these men are doing this for ego. It's to make them feel more a man, to take down an animal that's stronger than them, because they have nothing else to prove. Like there's men out there that hasn't done anything so wild in their life as an accomplishment. So they have to take down something that's weaker to make them feel more of a man. And I'm like, I've been in war, and you don't see me going on hunting animals, especially innocent animals, as for game or for a trophy. Like, what's the point? If I'm going to shoot my gun, I go to the range and shoot. If I want to get my rocks off and just shoot something, I go to the range. But I don't have to do anything to make me feel more of a man. And I didn't say all of this though, but I said all of that, but the only part I didn't say, which I'll say it on the live, because when I do things live, I'm talking to my real peeps, right? But when I'm talking to the real peeps, I'm like, listen, like when it comes to these hunters, half of them is fat as shit. They're fat. They're usually fat. I'm sorry, but it's fat white men. That's what it is, man. Majority of them is fat white men who just wants to prove how manly they are, and I think it's bullshit. And I feel that we need to really stick up and talk for the voiceless. You know what I'm saying? We have to talk to the voiceless, talk for the voiceless, because these bears has done nothing, and they want to just kill these innocent bears for no particular reason. You know what I mean? So this is why when I was out there, I talked to them and I said my speech, and everyone loved the speech. And they told me that they need more men like myself to be out there and speak for these bears, because it's a lot of women, but not so many men are really up there speaking. So, it kind of really boils down to this, you guys. Like, we don't need just more vegans, but we need more vegan men to speak up for these, because when it comes down to the male ego, and we all know this as vegans, like, within the male side, there's more vegan women than males. You know what I'm saying? And most males don't go vegan because of this, like, they don't, this masculinity, you know what I mean? So it's something that we have to break, that masculinity, that trend, because this is ridiculous. You know what I'm saying? It's getting ridiculous right now. Like, I'm like, so they're going to allow like hunting these bears. And I literally said it on the podium. I was like, bears I don't need to be seeing a bear head on a wall. They don't belong on a wall. They don't belong on the floor as a carpet. They belong in their habitat. And these are animals that it's like, even if a hunter said like a hunter that said like, well, they reproduce really fast. Like, the facts is that these bears, for a bear get pregnant and have a cub, it takes 2 to 3 years for one cub, you guys, one cub. So that means the population, it's not like they're popping out cubs and black bears all over the place. It's not like factory farms where people are force impregnating cows into existence. These are wild animals that, when they want to raise a family, they want to live in their habitat, they want to be left alone. They do not try to participate or try to, interact with human beings. You know what I mean? And we want to just pick and choose. And from what I was learning is that if this rule gets passed and gets solidified, that like they can hunt these animals, first thing is that these black bears will go extinct, because after the first time in 2015, and the rate on how people were hunting these animals were ridiculous and wasn't being regulated at all, and they had to actually stop it, already tells you already, like, this is not a good idea. And number two is that if we extinct these bears, right? If these bears get extinct, this is just, or get close to extinction, this is just a gateway for other animals to get treated the same way. And that's it. It's just a gateway, because if the black bears if that gets approved, then they're going to go for another animal and another animal and another animals. And all these guys, and I've been in the military, I know how some men are. Okay. I'm not coming from like a biased place. I know how some of these men are. There's some good military guys, and there's some pieces of shit, a POS, man. I'm telling you, in the military, we always say sometimes there's some slime that gets between the cracks, and there's nothing you can do. You know what I'm saying? And some of that slime some people are just trigger happy. So when people say psychopaths, like I've made some posts before and people were calling some of these people psychopaths, there's actually some for real. You know, it's not even, I'm not even saying it to name call people. Like there's literally some people out there that are psychopaths, and it's like they'll do anything to kill anything that stays within the boundaries of the legal system. Because they know if they kill a person, oh, they're going to jail, obviously, right? It's against the law. But if you could kill a beast, see what I'm saying? It gives that challenge, the thrill. They want that thrill to let me kill an animal that's stronger and bigger, a beast, to show who I am. I'm the king of the jungle. There's people literally that has that sick mindset. You know what I'm saying? Especially some men out there. And I've seen it in the military. I've seen how that bloodlust looks in their eyes. And it's disgusting because, and the reason I say this is because I won't be honest with you. I don't really share a lot of these stories of my military stories, but for example, one time I was on a deployment, right? And some of my missions were like prisoner runs. All right, we capture some guys, and then we had to take them. You know, they do the interrogation. After an interrogation, you know, we had to take all these guys and send them to prison, right? Now, when it came down to this, I've seen military guys treat these prisoners like shit. I'm telling, and some sad stuff. See, I'm a type of guy, like, if you're already in prison and you're within my hold, like, I'm just going to treat you like a prisoner and do things professionally, because your will is already broken. There's nothing else left. You're captured. You know, that's the game of war. You're captured. So I already know their will is broken. So the only thing now I'm going to do is just do everything professionally. If you're going to go, you're within captivity, I want to put the Kevlar on your head, put the flak jacket on your body. So, because, you know, during war, and and the reason we have to protect the prisoner, because when the prisoner is captured, let's say the enemy is trying to rescue them or try and assassinate them because of the information that could be leaked. So I will go ahead and protect them, keep them zip tied or handcuffed, seat them on the bench, and just take them to the prison, take them out, and that's it. That's it. Just do my job. I don't have any type of opposing views. I'm not kicking them around. I'm not pushing them around. You know, I'm not punching them in the face while I'm not kicking them while they're down. I'm going to treat them professionally. You know what I'm saying? And just do my job, and that's it. And you know what I saw? I saw other military men, you know, pushing them around, kicking them around, freaking, like they had like I forgot what it was, but they have like these little hats, you know, and their Quran and stuff. They're like throwing the Quran on the floor, trashing it, talking shit to them, taking their hat, throwing it, you know, like putting it, like, man, I don't even want to say so much, but I've seen so much bullshit, man. And when I saw that, I was just like, this is sad, because why are you doing this to these people? Their will is broken. Let's do their job, and that's it. And the reason I'm telling you this story, because this is the same, that those type of people who treat prisoners bad and stuff are trigger happy, they're bloodlusting, and that's the same attitude is the same people who does this shit to innocent animals to get their rocks off. You know what I'm saying? And listen to this. A lot of people are against this rule. There's not just vegans and vegetarians and stuff like that. Even people who eat meat, regular people, they're against it. A lot of people from South Florida are against it, or in Florida in general is against it. Listen to this. There's even a lot of hunters that's against this, is against this as well. Because there's different types of hunters, and even as vegans, obviously we don't like any hunter. We don't like people who kill, but for no reason. But there's hunters out there that like they only hunt for food and that's it. They don't hunt for game. And you know, and if we kind of think back, if we kind of think about this, and I'm not giving them an excuse, but like just like a small justification here. But when it comes to those particular hunters, like that only hunt for food, they hate the factory farm industry, and that's why they do the hunting. But then they don't like the game hunters either, because they're like the game hunters, they don't even use the meat. They just, you know, chop off the head, use the skin for that, and then that's it. And it's only for game. There's no respect. You know what I'm saying? There's no respect in the kill. You know what I mean? So there's and I even spoke to a lot of hunters that was out there too, that was actually against the whole game hunting or the trophy hunting for these bears, because they're like, this is bullshit. Like they're on the same page on vegans. So I just wanted to share that with you guys. And something I did put out a post today. I just posted it where if y'all want to help, y'all can go to these links. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share my screen. All right. And show you like some of the websites, and then I could copy the links and stuff. Okay. So just give me a second when I find let me find the links for you guys. All right. So the first link is going to be this right here. And all it takes is y'all could do like a petition. Y'all can sign a petition, which is free. Y'all can make a small donation. I did a petition and a donation as well to help for this, because once I was there, I was like, this is messed up, man. You know, and I think more than likely I'm going to go to Ocala, and they're doing like another hearing there, and I'm going to go and speak out there as well, because it really affected me when I went out there, and I was just like, man, I should be doing more of this stuff, man, for real. But like, here it is. So like I told y'all before, I was working with Animal Heroes, but also with the Bear Defenders, okay? And they obviously fight for the rights for black bears. And as you can see, like I was talking about, the Florida Wildlife Agency is pushing for a new black bear trophy hunt. Okay, so sign out a petition to stop it. And these are some of the ways you can help right here. So, and y'all could, I'm not going to like play no videos and stuff like that, but like y'all could definitely check this out yourself. But I'm just going to send you a direct link to that, which is on change.org. So like I mentioned, there's already like 31,000 people who already signed up for this pledge. We need as many as possible to really stop this, so people could see how many people are against this rule. Okay. Because if not, if this gets approved, it's going to be another slaughter for these bears. Okay. So that's one thing. And I'm going to go ahead and post it here on Instagram. And again, all these links too, even if you come late, and I'm going to post it here for YouTube and Facebook. Okay. Now, here's the thing. Y'all, even if y'all came late, y'all didn't get the link, whatever, you can always go to my Instagram page. Okay. Is it sharing? Yeah, still sharing. All right. Y'all can go to my Instagram page, and I just made a post right here. All right. And if you comment down below bear, you'll get sent all the information that I'm sending y'all right now on this live. So just in case you didn't get it, you can't find the link because a lot of people are commenting, asking questions, whatever, just comment bear on this post. Okay. And then just comment bear on this post. And then what we'll do is we'll send you all the information that I'm sending you now, so you can help participate to stop this. Okay. Now, the next thing is going to be this one right here. So this is the Florida Wildlife Conservation Commission. All right. So they're doing, this is the one I was thinking about going to, because I really want to show up here. It's going to be on Ocala. Okay. But what they're doing is going to be here. And they're doing a meeting agenda, right? So they're going to do like a hearing. And this is where we could go ahead and talk to the commissioners and tell them why, and tell them about our opposing views about why this shouldn't happen. Okay. So and a lot, even at the event, a lot of people were telling me I should go because they really loved my speech, and they said, like, we need more men, like yourself to be out here talking for these animals, because they said it's like a lot of women, and I hate saying this, you know how that can look, like if it's just a bunch of women talking to a bunch of men who hunts, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't look too good. So we need more men, especially like men who's in shape and like have a strong, powerful voice, that can really speak up for these animals and talk about the masculinity part, because that's the part where it's like they said, like, that's the part where a lot of these guys are really getting their rocks off, is the masculinity. And we need powerful speakers. Like, everyone's helping with however you want to speak, but hopefully that makes sense. But this is going to be at May 21st. If you're in South Florida or in Florida overall, like, if you could show up to this event, that'd be great as well. And leave your piece, or just be outside with protesting signs. Like, we just need to really help these animals out, because this could get denied if we speak loud enough. It can get denied. So it's not something like, I'm not telling you guys to do something that can't be done. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just need to speak up, because if we don't, then it's going to happen. You know what I'm saying? Because, like, for example, May 4th, everyone's talking about Star Wars. You know what I mean? I wanted to do my Star Wars shit too, but look at the type of shit that's going on while big events is happening. Just think about it. They're trying to pass like laws like this while you're distracted with bullshit. Star Wars, Miami F1 racing. They distract you with all this nonsense, and they're trying to pass laws because they know everyone's going to be more entertained worrying about fucking Luke Skywalker and shit, and a race car and the track, while there's about to be thousands and thousands of bears to be mutilated in a few days. And I was like, wow, look how coincidental that is. Look at the type of shit they're doing. You know what I mean? So just kind of think about that stuff, man. Like, people like to distract you with shit. So I'm going to go ahead and send a link here for that. Okay. And then the last thing y'all can do is do an email. All right. So when it comes to the email, let me go ahead and get that. Hold on. And I'll go ahead and text that to y'all. But when it comes to the email, y'all can email your opposing your views as well. And that can help too. All right. Like, just as you can see, just a little bit of money can help. It's not, like I said, none of this is going to me. This is going to the obviously to the nonprofits and stuff like that, the Black defenders who's advocating for the wildlife, so they could do what they do. But then again, like, you don't even have to donate anything. Just having signed a petition, writing a short email about why you shouldn't kill the black bears, and that's why I did this whole live based on that. After that, I'll answer some questions, but y'all could take some of that data and just say it in the email, and then also y'all could say some stuff about the masculinity, about the trophy hunts, about the past. Like, why are you trying to legalize something that got so out of hand the first time? Like, what's the difference this time? You know what I'm saying? Like, people are more mature now, within 10 years, people are more mature with their guns. Like, what's the reason? The technology got worse or better with weapons? Technology is 10 times better right now. You know what I'm saying? And then people are doing different things, different types of hunting when it comes to these bears. Like, especially, and like I said, some of these attacks is like bullshit. Like, this is what is bullshit, because like some of the hunters are telling me, like, these bears are pretty shy, man. Like, they're not really like the list to hunt, because they're very peaceful. They're in their own world, man. Like as long as you stay away from them, they stay away from you. And they literally tell me like, um, some people, what they do is they bait them. So what they'll do is they literally put food out there, feed the bear. Like they even told me stories where they would be feeding the bear like close up. Do that for a few months where the bear feels very complacent with that human, and then they'll call the friend comes while they're getting baited, and then they'll shoot them and say like the bear was trying to attack them, and just make up a story. You know what I'm saying? And it's just coming from hunters, man. You know what I mean? So it's like, and I think those stories are very powerful. It's one thing when like an activist is talking about it, but it's another thing when a hunter is at an activist meeting and he's opposed to certain acts of these animals. You know what I'm saying? And I think that's even more powerful because it's like they know there's some sickos out there. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna go ahead and send y'all the email. I'm gonna post it here. That's the email. And then for Instagram, let me send y'all the email. And then after that, I'll just go ahead and answer some questions. Yeah, C-Pain said, damn, bro, why they killing the bears? They're eating bears or what? I mean, some people eat them, but what's happening here, it's not even about the meat. It's like, cause that's something that I was asking. I was like, I even said the same thing. I was like, what? I mean, everyone wants bear meat or something. And a lot of people were telling me, no, they said majority of these hunters don't even eat the meat. They're just using it because it looks cool in their room because it's a beast. You know what I'm saying? It's a beast. It's huge. It's strong. So having a bear head, like you have to understand, like there's people out there that likes to have heads on the wall, and they consider it as trophies. That's why they're calling it a trophy hunt, because it's something that it's a story for these guys. It's like, I'm a man, I killed something that's stronger than me, and then they could tell their boys and have a fucking fucking like cock party, man. You know what I'm saying? And like who could blow who better, you know what I'm saying? Some bullshit stuff. But like because like, yeah, I killed a bear, I killed a lion, I killed like just think about safari, like the safari hunters, like when they're killing like elephants and they're getting the ivory, or they're doing that too. Like they'll take the fucking foot, they take the ivory as a trophy, they'll cut the head if they can and get tigers, lions, the same shit. Think about hunters that's online and then they catch a fish and they're like this. Why you think they're holding the fish and taking a picture like this? You know what I'm saying? Or they kill a lion there. They literally groping the lion and then holding his head up or holding his mouth open, showing the teeth like that, with like yanking him up while he's dead, because they're confirming the kill and showing you guys like it's a trophy. Like, look what I did. I'm the fucking king of the jungle. I'm the man. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's their boat show in the boating. It's the same thing like this. When I win the trophy, what am I doing? Am I like just winning and not showing it online? Or if I'm winning, I'm showing the trophies in my hand and talking shit about like, look at all the shit I got eating plants. The only difference between when I showboat versus them is I'm just showing you what I do eating plants. Like there's no animal being killed involved in that versus someone shooting a lion or an elephant or these bears, man. That like that's what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? That's what they're doing. So it's not even about the meat. It's about just like that. It's just about that. Let me start from the beginning. All right, so Yeah, within 24 or 48 hours. Yeah, that's how out of hand it got. Yeah, it got so out of hand. It was ridiculous. Delightful said, "Do you train people who want to compete in bodybuilding?" Yes. Like if you're into bodybuilding, of course, yeah, I can help you with that. As you saw, all the trophies there. I'm a three-time pro bodybuilder in natural organizations. Um, Also, as well, I'm a judge for four different natural organizations as well. So when it comes to training people, like I think it like I would be a good person to help you do that because I'm a judge and also a three-time pro. So I definitely can help you get on stage for sure. So just let me know, and if you need help, and I could definitely help you with that. Or if you know any friends, let me know. CPAN said like they're just killing these animals for ego. Exactly. Michelle Michelle said, "I love you, Corin, but all wars are created by World Economic Forum. The international satanic system are behind on both sides. Always same ones behind torture on animals too. Make no mistake. True. All right. Let's see. The man says toxic masculinity needs to be separated from eating meat. I know toxic masculinity isn't going away. I wish it had to do with veggies. Yeah, yeah. Tell me about it. Um, Says hunters are only 4% of the population. Why are we allowing these people to make our animals go extinct? The reason they're doing it because it's money. You know what I'm saying? It's like it has nothing to do with population control. It's about clearing out land. So for real estate, for investors, that's what it's about. So if you have like a species like dominated in the land, what's the best way we can do it without what's the best way we can do this without making a big scene? You have to kind of think about it, because if they just blew you have to kind of think about it. If they just sent construction unit and bulldozers and shit, right? Like that's going to create a big scene because construction workers aren't hunters, they're construction workers, you know what I mean? So like some of these guys they will get attacked for sure, and then that's going to, and let's say we painted that picture, like we just sent construction workers and just to start taking over land, regardless what animal that was out there. What's going to happen? The workers will get attacked, and then obviously a lot of activists is going to come up, and then they have more of a valid reason, right, to protest. It's like, yeah, you're taking your bulldozers and you're trying to destroy the bear habitat. Of course, they're going to attack you, idiot. Yeah, and that's just common sense. But how can I disguise that? Well, I need to create a better reason. So these bears are overpopulating the area, and when it comes to the population stuff, you like I was listening to one of the activists, and I'm just going to repeat this as I heard it, right, and how I understood it. But from what one of the activists was telling me was that they'll take like their feces, and then they do like an average within the radius and then just multiply it. So it's just like a simple math, which is very skewed, and then they use that math to say like that's how many bears is out there. And we have better technology these days where they can actually get a more accurate count. Like they can get drones or helicopters and really locate and tag like all these bears. Like there's a better way of doing that to get more accurate count, but they're using like very cheap and old ways of getting those numbers. You know what I'm saying? And then they're just saying it's overpopulated. We need hunters to clear it out. And then they try to leverage incidences as another reason why we should take out these bears and hunt them. You know what I'm saying? But the real thing, like I said, these bears are very shy. They don't even like interact with humans. Let's see. Says that's why so many former military becomes hunters. I want to be honest. There could be a very strong correlation to that. You know, in police too. Yeah, it could be a strong correlation. And the reason I agree is because something that I have to admit as well. When I was in the military, I never really shot anybody. You know what I'm saying? Like because the rules of engagement was very different back then. So I never had to really shoot anybody. They were doing more like road bombs and IEDs. Like so a lot of things that I encountered was more on those type of tactics. Like I've seen my friend truck get blown up right in front of me, like that. So that it's a different type of combat. It's more booby trap type stuff, and the technology we had to do back then was like to detect them and look around. It is just like a different thing. Not really like what you see in Call of Duty, like breaking in doors. It wasn't all like that. um but what was the point? Yeah. So the point is that, and the reason I'm telling you this is because, like, as many times I learned how to shoot, and I went to war, and even the war rules and engagement and everything was different, and I never really popped around out there. So I was just like, I had a lot of hunter friends in the military, and they were like telling me about hunting, and there was a point, and I remember the feeling. There was a point that I almost went hunting. Like I was getting very closer and closer to do it. And the reason was just to kill an animal and go hunting and just be with the boys. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, be with the boys, go hunting, kill an animal. But then, even then, and the reason I never went hunting in my life. But the reason I never went, because my why wasn't strong enough. Like a part of me, when I was hanging out with these hunters, and my military comrades, and they were telling me the joy and all the stuff, and then but it was just the why and the reasoning. Even though there was a part of me that wanted to go, it wasn't enough to make me go, because I was just like, man, like, so what do you have to do next? Oh, like, we have to cut it up and do this and that. I'm like, do I want to do all that? Do I need to do all that? I'm like, I got a chow hall, I got order Domino's. You know what I mean? Like I guess I was always like a city guy. So like for me, I'm just like, I don't know, man. I don't know if I want to go do all that and sit outside all day. And also being in the military, you know how many times I've done field operations? Holy crap. So for me, like all right, now I want to go out back into the woods again to like sit around and look for a fucking bear or a fucking deer or some shit. And it was just a lot of stuff going in my head too. Because I was just like, man, I could just get something to eat and that's it. Like, I was like, I hate the field. I hate going out in the field every time we had to, because when you're working, it's different, man. It's a lot different. It's like, I mean, there was times I was in the field for like 2 months straight just working, like just doing field operations and stuff, training, and it's whack. So like for me, it was just like work and that's it. And I had to live in every conditions. It wasn't like, oh, I'm going hunting on, like, not hunting, I'm going on a field op on a perfect day, man. There's times I went up field ops when it was pouring rain, it's cold as hell, on my worst type of weather, and still worst weather in my life. And I just dislike it overall, which is when it's cold and it rains. That's the worst, because you can never stay dry and you can never stay warm. And it's such an uncomfortable and it's disgusting feeling when you're in the field that long. But moving back to this, that's why I never did it. And when you say that, like, that's why police and military are usually hunters too, or they become one. It's probably a strong correlation. You probably have something there for sure, you know? Yeah. Let's see. Did you become vegan after the military? Um, and this is from I Am Ballistic. I went vegan when I was in the military, but I was in the United States Navy Reserves, so it was a lot easier for me to go vegan because it is part time, not full time. All right. D Hang donated $11 for the Florida Black Bears. Hey, thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, man. Yeah, thanks for doing that. That's really good. Yeah, I knew this would help. This would help. But definitely go on that website. Like I said, go to the post I just put out. Go ahead and donate, or if not donate, just sign the petition. It takes literally 2 seconds. I even send the link so it goes straight to the petition. You don't have to read anything. Just click on there, sign the petition. It's going to help the Black Bears. All right, guys. So with that said, I want to go ahead and sign out. Hope you all have the rest of your day. Let's help these fellows. All right. Let's speak up for the voiceless, and let's help these bears. Peace.